By the time you are watching this video, probably the opening game of the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup between Inter Miami and Al Ahly has already been played. Yes, this is the first edition of the expanded FIFA Club World Cup going on right here in the United States of America across 11 different cities. And yes, we are in the USA to cover this competition, but also see how far some of the best teams in the world can go. Clive Chaze is my name. The channel is CK Sports, and yes, if you are watching us for the first time and you are yet to subscribe, we will request you to hit the subscribe button. It will take you less than a second to subscribe. But also, if you already like what you are seeing or what you are listening to, well, it won't hurt if you go out there and did like our comment, rather did like this video, or even the other videos that we've uploaded over time. And yes, we will also appreciate the feedback through the comment section of this particular YouTube video or channel, because the feedback, the criticism does help us get better. Now, the big question that has been asked by many is the 32 teams that are playing at the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. How did those teams qualify for the World Cup? We know when we do have the Nations World Cup coming along, we always have a process of how the different nations get to qualify for the World Cup. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is going to be played next year here in the USA, Mexico, and Canada, and the qualification process is already underway. Some teams have already qualified, others are still in the process of qualifying. But we didn't see something close to that when it comes to the FIFA Club World Cup. And the big question was, how did the 32 teams that are going to be playing at this competition, or the 32 teams that are playing at this competition, qualify for this competition? And that is the question that I will try to answer with the little research that I've been able to make here and there, which is pretty much public knowledge out there, but sometimes not that everyone can be able to get access to this information. Now, it is a tournament of 32 teams, and of course different continents have different allocations. Africa as a continent, we have 4 slots that were taken up by Mamelodi Sundowns, Al Ahly, Esperance and Wydad Casablanca. Europe as a continent, or UEFA, have 12 slots. Asia also have 4 slots. South America have 6 slots. Oceania have a slot. Then the other slots were taken up by North America, or CONCACAF. We'll be starting with Africa, because I mean that is where we do reign from. And how did the 4 teams that are representing Africa at the FIFA Club World Cup get here? First of all, just to let you know that this is the qualifying process. For starters, the first qualifying process is the fact that a club, to play at this competition, they must have won their Continental Championship in the last 4 years. We are talking about 2021 to 2024. So we are talking about the Champions League, the UEFA Champions League, the CAF Champions League, the Copa Libertadores, the Asian Champions League, and all that. That is the first stage of qualifying. A country, rather a club, must have won their Champions League in the last 4 years. Now, the other stage of qualification is through a ranking. Yes, teams, rather clubs, needed to have a decent, I should say, ranking in their different confederations for them to be able to qualify for this competition. But also an interesting stat that will make you wonder why some teams with decent rankings didn't get to qualify, while others with not so decent rankings actually got to qualify for this competition, is the fact that no country should have more than 2 clubs representing them at this competition. Much as you're going to see that actually a country like Brazil has 4 clubs playing at this competition, and of course we also do have an answer for that. So the 4 clubs are from Africa. how did they qualify to be part of this competition? Of course, you look at a club like Al Ahly, for starters, they are ranked number 1 on the African continent, so automatically they would be qualifying for this competition. But also, in the last 4 years, 2021 to 2024, Al Ahly reached the final of the CAF Champions League on 4 occasions, and they won 3 of those occasions. But it was their championship in 2021 that got them qualification to this competition. Of course, the other team that also did get to qualify is Wydad Casablanca. They are ranked number 2 on the African continent, and still that would have gotten them an automatic qualification. But they did win the Champions League in 2022, defeating Al Ahly in the final. So that is how they get to qualify for this competition. Now, because the last 4 African titles, club titles, were won by 2 different teams, and we had 2 slots available, Esperance Football Club, because they are ranked 3rd on the African continent, they got to qualify. Then Mamelodi Sundowns, who are ranked 4th on the African continent at the time of qualification, also got to qualify. So that is how the 4 slots from Africa were actually taken up by those 4 countries. Now, the other continent is, or confederation, is Asia, or UEFA. They have 12 slots in total. And with those 12 slots, not everyone was going to qualify. Manchester City, they are ranked number 1 in Europe. They are the number 1 ranked club in Europe. That was already automatic qualification. But they did win the UEFA Champions League in 2023. If you remember that final where they defeated Inter Milan, and that got them to qualify for this competition. Real Madrid, in the last 4 years, outside 2025, they won the Champions League on 2 occasions and reached the semi-finals twice. But them winning the Champions League in 2021 is the reason that they did get to qualify for this championship. Bayern Munich are ranked 3rd in Europe. They got to qualify. PSG are ranked 4th. They also got to qualify. Chelsea Football Club, one would wonder how they did qualify here. They did win the 2021 UEFA Champions League. Remember, we said that they are looking at the teams that have been performing in the last 4 years. So that is how Chelsea got to qualify for this competition. You have Borussia Dortmund ranked 6th in UEFA qualifying. Inter Milan ranked 7th in UEFA qualifying. Now you have Liverpool, who are ranked 8th. But for some reason, they don't qualify for the UEFA Champions League. Why? Because there is that rule that country cannot be represented by more than 2 clubs, and you already have the 2 slots are taken up by Manchester City together with Chelsea Football Club. Now that is how Porto, who are ranked 9th, anyway, they were always going to qualify. Atletico Madrid, who are ranked 10th from Spain, also get to qualify. Now RP Leipzig are ranked 11th, but they still didn't qualify because the 2 slots that are available in Germany were already taken by Borussia Dortmund together with Bayern Munich. Barcelona also don't get to qualify, much as they are ranked 12th. Why? Because the 2 slots already in Spain are taken up by Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. And of course, you have Benfica from Portugal. They are ranked 13th. Ideally, they should be out of the qualification gap, but they get to qualify because there are teams above them that don't qualify, and UEFA already have 12 slots which are available. So that is how Benfica gets to qualify for this competition. Juventus, who are ranked 14th, also gets to qualify. Now Napoli can't qualify, Sevilla can't qualify, AC Milan can't qualify, but there is 1 slot that is available, and that is how FC Salzburg, or Red Bull Salzburg from Austria, got to qualify, and they finish up the 12 slots that are available for UEFA. They actually ranked 18th, so ideally they shouldn't be qualifying for this competition, but because there are teams that are clubs that are above them, and they don't meet the qualification criteria, that is how they find themselves playing at this competition. Of course, the other confederation that we are going to be looking at is South America. South America have 6 slots for this competition. 6 slots have been taken up by clubs from 2 countries. 4 of those slots have been taken up by clubs from Brazil. The other 2 slots have been taken up by clubs from Argentina. Now remember, I did say that a country cannot be represented by more than 2 clubs at this competition. But Brazil has 4 clubs that are going to be playing at this competition. Why? Because the last 4 years, Brazilian clubs have been winning the Copa Libertadores. That is how they got qualified. Of course, Flamengo are ranked #1 in South America, that the confederation, so they got qualified, but they also did win the Continental Championship in 2022. Palmeiras, who are in that group alongside FC Porto, Inter Miami, and Al Ahly, are ranked second in that confederation, but they did win the Continental Championship in 2021. They also got to qualify. Of course, Atletico Mineiro cannot qualify. River Plate, who are ranked 4th, get to qualify. Fluminense, who are ranked 5th, get to qualify. Still, they were in that qualifying window, but also because they won the Continental Championship in 2023. And then you have Boca Juniors, who are ranked at 6th. Now, these 6 teams, rather the top 6 teams, would be qualifying, but you have Botafogo, who are ranked 22nd in that confederation, finding their way to the FIFA Club World Cup. Reason? They are the reigning continental champions from South America, or they did win the 2024 championship. So much as their ranking is not that impressive, they did manage to qualify by virtue of being champions of South America in 2024. So that is how the 6 slots from South America were taken up. And of course, you will realize that it is the same case in Asia, where Al Hilal, they are ranked #1 in the Asian Confederation, but they did win their Champions League. That was in 2021. Yuslan from Korea Republic gets to qualify by virtue of their ranking, and from there you don't have all those other teams qualifying. Ideally, a club from Japan like Kawasaki should be qualifying because they are 4th. There are 4 slots available. Another club from South Korea, which is Junbak Motors, should be qualifying because they are ranked 3rd in their confederation, but they don't qualify. And it is Ura Red Diamonds from Japan, who are ranked 9th, who qualify for the FIFA Club World Cup. Why? Because they won the Asian Champions League in 2022. Of course, together with Al-In, who are ranked 11th in the Asian Confederation, who qualify because they did win the Asian Champions League in the 2023-2024 season. So that is how teams from Asia got to qualify. From Oceania, they had 1 slot available, and that slot was taken up by Auckland City FC from New Zealand. And for some reason, they have won the last 3 championships in that confederation. But then you also have CONCACAF, where you have FC Monterrey, who qualified, but they did win their championship, the CONCACAF Champions League in 2021. This is a team also that Sergio Ramos is going to be representing, but still they also ranked #1 in the CONCACAF. They are from Mexico, and from down there, of course, you have America. From Mexico, they don't qualify. The second team that qualifies is ranked 7th, but still from Mexico, and this is FC Pachuca, because they also did win the Champions League, the CONCACAF Champions League version in 2024. And Seattle Sounders, they are ranked 9th. Ideally, they shouldn't be qualifying, but they did win the championship, the Continental Championship in 2022. That is how they get themselves to this competition. Of course, together with Inter Miami, who qualified as the hosts of this competition, but also because they did win the Supporters Shield in the Major League Soccer. So that is a bit of a brief how teams got to qualify for this competition, and we'll be back with different headlines or different things that have been making news in this competition on this channel of ours, the YouTube channel, CK Sports. And like we did say, if you are yet to subscribe, this could be a great opportunity for you to subscribe, like our content if you've liked what we've shared with you, but also the comments. because for me, I believe that every time you read through those comments, the feedback is always interesting. It helps us get better. Enjoy the rest of your day, depending on where you are watching this video from, but also enjoy the FIFA Club World Cup. All the best to your team, and we hope that the 32 teams that are here can treat us to some exciting football. Clive Chaze is my name, coming to you from the USA.